My fingernails on my left hand are really long. Hopefully we can see that. They're much longer than I usually keep them, so the challenge today will be to cut them. I want to basically get rid of the white line. But I'm not going to use fingernail clippers, and I'm not going to use toenail clippers. So that's the challenge. I have 5 nails. That gives me 5 techniques that I'm going to need to do. Let me start. Once I check and make sure that intro is good, because I can't really retake it. I decided it's too dark in here, so that intro wasn't really that good. So here's what the nails are looking like. See that white line? So much extra nail. As opposed to how I usually keep them. These are also due for a cut, but yeah, no white line. The white line is where your nail is supposed to end. Anything extra is just extra. So let's get rid of it. Alright, first method, we're gonna, with the very straightforward, just use a knife. The trick to using a knife is to cut in straight lines. Don't try to curve around the nail in like a semicircle, because you'll end up curving too tightly and then the nail will end up being cut too deep. It also helps if you have a sharp knife, and you also don't worry if you cut a little skin, because that grows back. But let's see. There we are. The thumb's looking real nice. Next, we're gonna file away this entire nail. This might take a while. That didn't take as long as I thought it would, and I'm pretty happy with the results. Next, this nail I'm just gonna rip off. Yeah, just basically have a little bit of nail in my right hand still, so I should be able to, once I can get a little crack going, just pull it. There we go, finally. This was proving to be much more challenging than I thought it would. I don't know if my right hand's nails weren't long enough, or it doesn't work as well when it's too long, but finally got it down to a manageable length. Bleeding a little bit out of the side, that's always gonna happen when you're manually ripping them apart. Okay, next up is, I wonder if nails burn. Let's see if we test this. They do burn, although it seems to be melting a little bit. So let's melt this one instead. So, here I got my screwdriver head that I use for things like this. I'm going to heat it up a little bit. Is that hot enough? Feels hot. Alright, let's go. I don't think that was hot enough. Doesn't appear to be melting. It just appears to be Alright, that's not that hot. Dirtying my nail here. Alright, so it is hot. Because that was hot. This isn't going exactly according to plan either. Because I can feel it through the nail. Alright, that's hot. The issue is it doesn't appear to be melting the nail, and it does appear to be painfully hot on the skin, which probably doesn't surprise some of you, but it wasn't according to plan. Focus. That dot right there is the only thing I've done to it so far. So that would take forever to finish the nail. So I'm going to give up on the melting it idea. Let's skip that now for a second. For this one, I'm going with something I think a lot of people will be familiar with. It's a very common object, and that's scissors. So let me just snip that. All in one go. By far the best looking one. And a brief intermission while I figure out what to do with this nail so that I don't fail the challenge. Okay, so I realized the problem is probably that I don't have enough heat. So this should take care of that, right? No, that was a joke. I actually don't know what I'm going to do, so I'm going to use another joke, which was my straight edge. I don't even have a blade in here. So I wasn't planning on using this, it was just a prop, but I've run out of sharp things that I have. So I think I'm going to have to make this work. Never done this. It should work though, it's sharp, right? Yeah, it cuts it real easy. So a little bummed that I didn't get to melt this one. That was actually the main purpose of the challenge, was I wanted to see it melting. But luckily that was not the actual challenge, so I didn't fail. This is a real rough cut. I don't suggest using this to cut your nails. Any of the techniques I used really probably aren't very well suited, with the exception of the scissors. They work well. And the nail filer worked, but it left nail dust everywhere. So here's the end result. I get my zoom in right. Here's the thumb. There's the rest of them. It's still a little rough, but oh well. My camera shut off because the internal temperature was too high. Apparently I was using too much heat. Anyway, just wanted to say challenge complete.